Yes, welcome back to Hot Topics. I'm Jeff Ajmai with Home Life Miracle and House of Trade, bringing you the most talked about real estate news stories of the week. We've got a very investor heavy episode today. It's mostly around a couple things regarding transit and also what to look out for when you are buying pre-construction condos or pre-construction developments. So stay tuned for that. First, I want to say go check out the Mobile Age of Real Estate blog on the House of Trade website. That's houseoftrade.ca. You can see the description down below. Check out our blog. We talk about all things around real estate technology happening not only in Toronto, but also happening in North America. It's something that you're going to find very insightful, very useful. Check that out. We've released a couple series or a couple parts so far. That's the Mobile Age of Real Estate blog on the houseoftrade.ca website. You know what? Let's jump into the news. And the first topic of the day is from the Canadian Real Estate Magazine. This article is titled Applying REIN's Transportation Formula to Toronto Subway Announcement. So obviously we know that last week we had the Ontario PCs announce their new transit project. That's going to be done in about 2027, some years down the road. What REIN did is they put together their Toronto Transportation Effect Report, and that's detailing how investors can capitalize on transit infrastructure projects and its impact on local real estate. So REIN's vice president, she's also the co-author of the report. Her name is Jennifer Hunt, and she says that transportation infrastructure delivers about 10 to 20% of value within 800 meters of access to rail or highway. Multifamily properties are between 27 and 99% more valuable when they're within 1,600 meters than those beyond that. The greatest premium is usually within 400 meter radius of whatever transportation is in the area. And ultimately accessibility to transit like an LRT line, subway, a commuter rail, or highway access creates more property value as well as rental value. This is a fact. And one thing that comes to mind for me is the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. Now you can also check out an episode that we did of Hot Market where we went to check out the Yonge and Eglinton area, and we touched on specifically the growth in the area because of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. One other thing that it touches on as well, it also cautions investors on how to approach investing near transit. So there's 4 tiers that they're discussing, and they want to touch on these 4 tiers because they want investors to be cognizant of what to pay attention to when you're considering investing near transit. So the first is when a project is under construction. So let's say, example again, the Eglinton Crosstown LRT that is under construction. You can't miss it when you go down to Yonge and Eglinton. You're going to be stuck in traffic for a good portion of your day. But the fact that it is under construction shows people that this is going to be coming soon. It's going to add value to the area. It's going to help to relieve some of the density in the area. And it's just going to be able to get people from point A to point B a lot sooner. It's just a value added to the community. Second tier is construction hasn't begun, but the project has been funded. That's also a good sign. If the project has been funded, that means there's money for it when they do get the plans up and going. So there's not a long delay from that point. The third tier would be when it's planned, but it's unfunded. So there is an idea and a concept put together, but there's no money for it. You want to be a little more hesitant around those times, just until you start to see some money for the project itself, because then you know it's real. It's not just in someone's mind or on paper. It's real in the fact that there are real dollars being put towards the effort. And then the fourth tier is going to refer to projects that are basically, they're far from being finalized. So they've been in discussion, they've been in talks, but nothing really has come to fruition. There are no real plans. There's no money for it, but it's just an idea that's been floated out there by people in the political sphere. So that's something that you want to be a little more hesitant towards, just because there's nothing finalized yet, and you don't want to jump in with both feet in an area before you have any real good information on the community. So check out the report. It's something really interesting, and it's definitely something that's going to give you a little more insight into why you should invest in certain areas that have transit that are being built and coming to the community. And the second story that I want to talk on, this is brought to us by The Star, and its headline is Appeal Court Agrees Condo Developers Need to Discuss All Features to Buyers. Now, the basic idea of the story is basically that the Ontario Court of Appeals has affirmed the obligations of condominium developers to provide buyers with complete and transparent disclosure of proposed project features. This includes a budget statement which fairly and accurately reveals the cost that purchasers will have to pay in their first year of ownership. So I'm gonna have to read a little bit here just to give you some good in-depth, some better insight into what the story is talking about. But in 2010, the Georgian Group was a developer of a condo building in Strangford Lane in Scarborough. And before title was transferred, and title is just ownership of the land or the property itself, before title was transferred to the unit purchasers, the developer board caused the condominium corporation to give it 2 vendor take-back mortgages. That means that the owners of the land, who would still be the condominium developers, are saying that, okay, we're going to finance, or we're going to give you a mortgage with regards to the specific project or specific deal. So that's what a vendor takes. So they gave 2 vendor take-back mortgages and a promissory note, and that's just an agreement between 2 parties that a certain amount is, or something is to be done, or a certain amount is to be paid upon a certain period of time. It's just another agreement first. So the first mortgage was for $2.228 million on heating, ventilation, and the air conditioning. That's the HVAC equipment. And the other mortgage was for $1,026,000 on 34 parking units and 16 storage units. So when it was unable, this is the developer, when the developer was unable to sell the units, the developer then transferred them to the condominium corporation. That's the condominium itself and its board, in exchange for the mortgage. The condominium corporation took the developer and GCP. GCP is Georgian Property Group, or Georgian Property Corporation, to court seeking to overturn the debts, because obviously they don't want to pass this on to their unit owners. That's going to be transferred onto the condo fees and things like that, and that's going to make living in the units much more expensive than it should. So the basis of the claim was known as an oppression remedy. So under the Condominium Act, if the conduct of the developer is found to be oppressive or unfairly prejudicial, the court may rectify the matter. So last May, Justice Jasmine Akbarali ruled that the developer's disclosure was insufficient. They didn't give enough information regarding what they were offering with regards to the mortgage. Most of the unit owners didn't even know about the mortgages, the vendor take-backs. They didn't know about the promissory note. And the judge wrote that the developers are obligated to provide full and accurate disclosure. So what happened was, after that ruling, the mortgage on the HVAC equipment was reduced from $2.28 million to about $652,000, and the parking unit mortgage was amended to reflect the principal amount owing of $73. So that was taken back from $1,026,000 to $73,000, which is a huge difference. And then the promissory note of $90,000 was deemed oppressive and was set aside, so they don't even have to pay that. So that's just gone. GPC, Georgian Property Corporation, was also ordered to pay $150,000 in costs to the corporation, or to the condo corporation. So they tried to appeal, and it just ended up costing them a lot more money. So what this story essentially shows us is that buyers of pre-construction condominiums and just new projects should really do their due diligence. One, on the actual developers themselves, make sure that these guys have a good reputation and are not known for predatory tactics. And then 2, making sure that they're getting all the disclosures necessary to help them make better decisions when it comes to closing their property. So, and the story shows just a lot of the predatory tactics that just a few developers take to extract more capital from condominium corporations. And like I said, the cost can be reflected in high condo fees. One remedy, again, is just to do due diligence on the builders, and also to join condominium boards and attend board meetings, because then you're going to get a lot more information with regards to what's happening in terms of the finances of the corporation. Got to pay attention to the reserve funds, all the expenses happening with the corporation itself, and just all the things that are going to affect you as a unit owner. And you want to make sure you review those condo corporation financials to avoid falling prey to some of these tactics. So it's more so a story I just wanted to put out there because I found it really interesting that now developers are being forced to disclose a little more information with regards to their projects and some of the costs associated. And also because we just need to be more informed on what we're looking at as investors when we're trying to get into different investments in the city and just throughout North America or wherever we're putting our money. So that's it for the stories today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. As always, this is a discussion. If you liked our previous topic, last episode 11 that we did with Dominique Watson in discussing the home buyer's plan or the first time home buyer's plan, comment that down below as well. We love doing those type of interview feels and those interview conversations. Those are always real good intel to give to you. It's not just me talking, it's always a second source that's giving you their personal reference with regards to a situation. If you like that type of a format, comment down below, let us know. Like, share, subscribe. We're always going to see you once a week. This is Hot Topics. Take care. Peace.